Chase Leaki with the blue futon. If you notice, I went to the movie theaters today and I saw two movies. And the first movie I saw was Boogie. So is Boogie worth your time to boogie, boogie, boogie into theaters? Let's find out. So what is Boogie about? It's pretty simple, actually. It's about a Chinese American high schooler where his father transferred him to a better school so he could play this one player named Monk, the number one prospect in Brooklyn. But while he's at the high school, he's got to figure out family problems, girlfriend problems, what he's going to do with getting to the NBA, the CBA, and other issues in Brooklyn, as well as can he chase the American dream. So did I like this movie? Not really. So I thought I was gonna like it, but then when you go into it and you're like, okay, that's kind of weird. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Where's that going? Not good character choices, not good dialogue choices, and that's the issue with this movie as a whole. So there's a lot more negatives than positives. So with the positives, I do like the story, what it was trying to do, and some of the dialogue was pretty hysterical about, his first time having sex or issues with the family and getting to know the culture of China in America. So other than that, knowing the culture, some good acting by the girlfriend. I think she is the best acting in this movie. There are some weird shots of doing stuff in the very beginning with the weight room scene that I'll just say you gotta watch to realize it. But other than that, there's a lot of negatives to this movie, so we'll go with the first main one. It is a pity party movie. It is a poor me movie of like, oh, I'm so struggling. It's all about me, me, me. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I'm a struggle. I'm a struggle. I'm a struggle. And it's like, okay, well, what you're doing with struggling, you're kind of doing it to yourself by disrespecting your coach, disrespecting your teammates, disrespecting everything else around you. So you doing this pity party bullshit and you not helping stopping this pity party bullshit, to me, that's just a whole negative aspect as a character flaw. Another one, it's kind of a minimal one, I'll go with it, is the Double Zero. Double Zero is one of the players on the team where it could have gone an interesting storyline because this player Boogie is kind of very me, me, me. I want to get in the NBA, so it's not really a team sport, it's an I sport, and that's why he moved to this prep school. But there's this team, Double Zero, that's all you know by the numbers, that it feels like there could be a weird dynamic in that, but it really doesn't show up as a whole. And at the very end, where I just don't understand these basketball games, like you're going to these prep schools in high school, but it feels like these aren't high school games. These are more of like just street games in basketball high school form, which doesn't make sense in my opinion. And then the biggest one is we're supposed to believe Monk is this number one prospect in Brooklyn, New York to get into the NBA. Not fam, not even close. Like I said, if you watch my early reaction, last names Formiller, McGuire, Daniels, Tucker, we got Ray. A lot of these people I played basketball with that are 100 times better than this Monk character in this movie. And it really goes nowhere because all these highlight reels of we're seeing with Monk and what he's doing, it doesn't really show a lot. It shows him going for a layup, shooting a three, and then him going around a person that plays some James Harden defense. So it is hard to believe like this Monk character is his number one prospect. So that as a person who plays basketball and knows the game, and you have these characters and this directing style of these basketball, plays that are supposed to be amazing, they're not amazing. They're everyday Joe drills, and you're just like, I I can't believe this Monk character is the number one prospect. I just couldn't believe it. And then there's some dialogue choices of two of them in particular where, like I said, a Taiwanese and Chinese beer. Coach coming into the house and they're like, "Do you want some beer?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take a beer." And the family's like, "Oh, we want this scholarship, full ride scholarship." And the coach is like, "Well, it's complicated. It's not that easy." And then when he gets the beer, he goes, "Well, this is Taiwanese beer, not Chinese beer." And she goes, "Well, it's complicated." So they kind of do an and one thing of like, this movie is trying to show that China doesn't see Taiwan as a separate country, where that's why the whole it's complicated because the Americans going, it says Taiwan, it doesn't say Chinese, and the Chinese people go, it's complicated. So you're like, okay, I see what you're going with there. And then as well as another with an uncle, if you want to put it that way, who's a manager of Boogie, and he basically goes to China and says, I went to the recruiters for the CBA, and I said, China America, and the Chinese ate it up. And I'm like, whew. So if that is true, that it is like that, we need to, as a society, as America, needs to step back and be like, who is actually our friend? If we want to see everyone as a whole, and they don't see it that way, it's a huge red flag. And of course, he kind of sells his soul for that reason, as well as just the whole thing where then at the very end dialogue where the Chinese guy's like, well, you don't know what it's like to be a Chinese American, where America's pushing you down, pushing you down. I have to disagree, because if an American tries to go to China, it's going to be a million times harder. Anyone from America, a black person from America go to China. It ain't going to be pretty, ain't going to be easy trying to, make a movie about it as well. Same as a white person. Shit, even like Koreans and Japanese, and they're in the same region. It's same as India, same with Hong Kong, same with Taiwan. So this whole pity party shit where the director's trying to do, it's like, it's so hard in America. Try to do it in another country and try to make it, just try. It's not really going to happen. Maybe some European countries, sure. For sure that's going to happen. But why is it that every other country to get into a sports league comes to America? European league, they can make it big, come into an American sport. Asians coming to America to make it big. They don't really make it big anywhere else. So that pity party shit, the whole writing directing also got to me. But when you're doing this movie about trying to make it into America in a basketball form, and it's a basketball movie supposed to be it, and you're just like, I don't believe any of the basketball scenes. I believe the coach. I don't believe the atmosphere, the background of anything happening with the basketball stuff. And that's supposed to be the forefront of the movie, and it just doesn't work for me. So, Boogie will receive a 1.5 out of 5 with Futon. So he goes at 30%. So the critics' news scores gave this one. So you have the critics of 46% with 50 of them, and the audience score, there's Jack nothing with 0. And here's critic consensus. JK, LOL, there's no critic consensus. There literally is. I might be the only one in America that saw Boogie, because I was the only one in the theater as well. But yeah, to me, it just, as a basketball movie and what I was trying to say, completely, it's just not believable for me. So do you agree with my 30 or the 46? Chase Duck the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Another thing is Futantopia. You Blue Futonians. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I feel. Oh my god. Boogie the way out of that burp. I just can't.